Legal luminary Adetokunbo Kayode, senior advocate of Nigeria, wakes up every morning with one thing on his mind: defending the rights of people. A crusader of justice, an entrepreneur, and a politician, he is one who embodies the legal, business, and political climb. One-time counsel to the federal government of Nigeria, one-time counsel to the People's Democratic Party, one-time counsel to the Independent National Electoral Commission. He also offers counsel in a different court, the Royal Court. Adetokunbo Kayode is a prince of Ikaramakoko in Ondo State. On a typical day, activities inside this structure could appear deceptively quiet. That is until the daily grind starts, propelled by an officer of the law. Proceedings here are run by a man who is a blue blood by birth, with an obligation to live according to the rule of law. Growing up as royalty has its privileges, but it also has its challenges. Traditionally, most royal homes in Africa are polygamous homes, so growing up for Adetokunbo Kayode in a polygamous home provided part of the foundation it would need to form the future of service. He learned the virtue of patience, endurance, and purpose at an early age.
Many wives and many children.
Oh, okay.
Very many. Now, very many.
I can imagine.
But he just thought that if I could get admission to CMS Grammar School, whatever they have to do, everybody must contribute to make sure that I was there. And I was there. I had issues. Even, let me tell you, when I was doing my school cert, the bursar, I can't remember his name, an elderly man, used to come and drive me out of the class. I mean, and so it's murderous to use. How can you drive a young boy? I was not 16. I was doing my school side. I was 15 plus. I was 16 in October of that year. He drove me out of the class, out of the exam hall, because I had not paid my fees. Of course, I had not paid my fees. But for out of the exam hall. But what happened was that the teacher, the invigilator, understood. A few of us who had not paid their fees, you just go out. As the bursar is coming, just step down, leave your people and walk out. Go and hide in one corner. Immediately the man will enter and start continue your paper. You know? And I had the grade one, I had all my credits, and that was that. But just to show there is no privilege. And privilege is actually a burden on young people. Our children now, they drink Bonvita, they drink milk, you know, all these things. There's nothing like that then. But it did not stop me from going to University of Lagos or being a lawyer or becoming an SAN. And doing a few things that God has given me the grace.
Now, how did you manage through school, the University of Lagos, prestigious as it is there?
Well, what happened in Unilag was that as I immediately entered, I ran into a crowd of friends that were hanging out together, and all of them were working. Most of them were teaching in secondary schools nearby, Fimbas College, Bagada, Bariga, all those schools. There were so many schools around. So many of the students were ULAG, many of the teachers were ULAG students. So I joined the crowd and I started teaching Bagada, one of the secondary schools in Bagada, which is about 3 kilometers from our gate, but there was to be a lot of hold of them. So I had to cut it. I go to class in the morning, they push my timetable maybe around 11. So I just go and take a bus at the gate, and if there's hold up, I just start jogging to school and do it. But it was all fun. Honestly, if I tell that it was a big problem, it was not. It was all fun. Look, as at that time I was 18 plus, so I was teaching people in my class who were older than me. I mean, you show that secondary some people. So it was just cool, and I had money then. They were paying me 99 naira per month as a student. Then don't forget that as at that time, it was 50 kobo per day for food. 20 kobo in the morning, 15 kobo lunch, and there's free tea. You know, there's a lot of things. Then, you know, then the country was still cared about young people, and we really must find a way to go back to that. It will not be as sweet as then. Because then you have to, 4 people eat 1 piece of chicken. They just go into 4 for the jollof rice on Sunday afternoon all over Nigeria. That's how it was happening. But you can't go back to that. But we must still keep them in mind. Must find a way. And there was bursary. Now I don't know whether they're still doing. You see, a lot of things we have to rejig it because we must help the young people too. That's one of the things that make them patriotic. That's one of the things that make them care about the nation and care about the people.
Graduate of law from the University of Lagos and called to bar in 1982, destiny for him came through the vision of a parent.
You know, it's a common thing for parents then, of those days, to always have their children read all those professional courses and quote. Now, why was it your own decision or the decision of your parents?
Well, I think it was not in those days. I think even now, I have 2 of my children reading law right now. 1 is already a lawyer. So parents do influence.
Yes.
Just like I was influenced by my father, who was a police officer. I believe that there is no other profession but law. Whatever you want to do, you thought you must read law first. Thought the way the world was going, even then, that everybody must know their rights and be able to fight for it.
For the legal luminary, passion superseded tradition as his choice to be in the legal world took an upper hand.
The prince, royalty, the name.
Yeah, I'm from a royal family, but then you know how it is in Yoruba land. There is always royalty in every community. So from my community in Ondo State, from royal family, I could be the king if I wanted.
Oh.
But that is not my line.
Okay, you are not being motivated to be to go into traditional rulership.
I don't want to do everything. I want others to have their own fair share.
Accompanying his princely cap are other caps he has won over the years. In 2007, he was appointed Minister of Tourism, Culture and National Orientation, from where he was moved to the Labour Ministry, still in the same capacity in 2008. In March 2010, he became the Attorney General of the Federation for a brief spell before assuming office as the Minister of Defense in April 2010.
I spent the shortest period in my ministerial appointments as Attorney General, regrettably, because that was an area that I could have been able to do a lot. I was prepared for that position, but unfortunately, it was not to be because I spent a short period there before I moved on to Ministry of Defense. But across the board, first of all, one is extremely grateful to the opportunity offered by the country to serve, and you have to be there to understand what it is. But I would say, by and large, that I had varying experiences, varying opportunities to learn new things, and it has made me a better person. Actually, you don't get to be a better person until you have experienced those offices. And that's why it bothers me that we continue to source old people, geriatrics, to be in these offices. You can serve your country even more after you have left those offices because of the experience you gather there. For instance, I spent a year and 4 months in the Ministry of Culture, and I got to know that cultural industries, which we hardly talk about, is so huge that you can even use it to create a lot of skills development, a lot of job opportunities and empowerment at the lowest level, at the lower rung, where the real people are in this country. I mean, at the village level, at the ward level, I understood that, and of course then I tried to put in place a structure that could be which people could build on, and the opportunity is still there to today. Part of it is the Nollywood you're seeing, part of it is the music you're seeing, part of it is the creativity in fashion, part of it, creativity in food and all that. All these are part of cultural industries. We need to harness it. Every country is doing that, and we can do that.
From diverse experiences, Adetokunbo Kayode sums up his beliefs. One premised on curbing unemployment in the country through skill development, which could actually reverse the trend of a failing generation. Though out of office, his firm resolution anchors on a development policy.
Two things which I saw and I understood, I would like to push and preach. It is the fact that there have to be policy about skills development. We need a national policy on skills development. I push this up to a point, but you know how it is in government. When you start something and you leave, everybody develop amnesia. So even today, the national skills development is very important. Policy is very important, because without skills, you cannot create jobs. It will not happen. The national employment policy has always been there. It was never implemented. We brought it up, launched it, and tried to implement it before we moved on. That also is very important. But the foundation is skills development. And there's some issues which government and all of us, really, because when you talk of government these days, people take it as if you're being critical or unduly negative. But the truth is that government has to lead. We need to be clear as to how we want to create jobs. We need to have a focal institution for that, like the Ministry of Labor, and they must house the employment policy and the skills development policy. It's a national thing, and we should also bring it down from federal to the state to the local government. If we continue to do everything in Abuja, it will not happen. We are a big country. We are, diverse people. So we must take everything, push it down as much as possible. And I'm happy that the National Assembly is looking at the possibility of giving some strength to the local governments, yes, which does not exist now. In fact, in law, yeah, it exists. But in fact, local governments have disappeared. We can bring it down easily and focus on skills at local government level. ITF, Industrial Training Fund, and all this, they belong in the past.
Politics beckoned when the late Dr. Olusegun Agago, former Minister of Mines and Steel, took him under his wings.
Your romance with politics started along these lines. When did it start? I could remember there was this PDP thing in Ondo State and all that.
Well, I got dragged into politics by Dr. Agago, who was minister from 1999. And my political, actually he dragged me into politics. Even though my father was in politics, my father was chairman of all the parties in my local government, from before Abela's time up to PDP. My father was chairman of all of them. You know how it is. He was retired, he sat down there, anything that came, he grabbed it with other people. So, but I was never influenced. I used to give them money, support them, laugh, just see them doing their thing. I never came back. It was Dr. Agago that dragged me in. He was my political mentor, and actually saw me through many things. He promoted me very fast and very quickly. I think this was about 2001 after I became SAN, and he thought, wow, as young as you are, you're SAN, and you are from that village, Ikaram in Akoko in Ondo State. You are sitting down here in Abuja, drinking tea, enjoying yourself, and abandoning Ondo State. You have to come and work for your state. And he also determined that, look, you will serve Ondo State better by being in Abuja and representing Ondo State here. And I think I tried my best on that. But the average politician in Ondo State knew that I was not a politician. They knew that I was not cut out for it, because I couldn't play their game. One, I don't have the money to go and contest for some of the big positions. Even if I do, I will not, because I will not spend that money that way.
But we hear that you are tilting towards being, vying for the governorship position in Ondo State.
Well, is it the program then? That was a program Dr. Gabu put in place.
Okay.
He was a visionary. In spite of, he was not a saint, okay, but he was a visionary, and he did two things that nobody can deny him of in Ondo State. One, he's the first governor I know who put a clear plan for development for the state, roadmap for development. That's what he called it, and he implemented up to a point before some people messed up with his plans. But maybe he allowed it, I don't know. But all I know is that there was a derailment along the line. He put in a plan, a clear plan, and laid the program of succession. So that if he left, you will know where to continue. So there's no issue of, oh, let me finish my work. The work is a national work. It's Ondo State work. He put in the plan. First person, and that plan is still there. And any governor who wants to succeed, as far as I'm concerned, must go back to that plan. Dust it up. Start to implement it while moving to review it because of time, okay? Because that plan was done in 2003. But it's still as good as any plan, especially where there's no plan. So I'm totally out of Ondo State politics. I can say that now. Actually, I was in the village during Christmas and I announced in my church, everybody screamed. I said, I'm absolutely out of.
Not on the trail of an elective post yet, but his recent mission statement as the president of the Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry speaks volumes.
I'm working at national level with the organized private sector. Maybe I'm even one of the, maybe they are key person with liaison with federal government. I do a lot of advisory for government on trade. I've just moved on. To trade, to business, you understand, than to just think I can only serve Nigeria through politics. We are all serving the country. And I want to serve Nigeria the way that I can make sure the SMEs work. I want people to have food on the table. Without it, we're going to be in big trouble.
For small and medium enterprises is another attraction for the new boss. His tilt towards this venture is visionary.
So we want to empower young people, we want to see how we can create jobs, we want to see how we can develop and fund SMEs. And that's so critical. I'm doing this little paper which I'm going to try and push to His Excellency the Vice President, who has the mandate for this. How do you fund SMEs? Government has money, they don't know how to fund it. But it's not peculiar to this government. Even the government of Jonathan, he had $350 billion naira on the table. It's not his duty to go and start sharing it. We need to have a structure that will make sure that the money gets to those who will use it. But where's the structure? And so when the money disappears, you blame him. Just like they will blame this government if the 500 billion CBN is putting on the table as of December disappears without we feeling the impact. So they need a structure. They need to think in a new way. People talk of thinking out of the box. I want to smash the box. I want to think in a new way as to make sure that we fund SMEs, not with cash, but with capital, with what they need. They call it finance leasing. It goes beyond equipment leasing. You want to do a bakery or you want to do hairdressing. I know ladies love hairdressing and stuff. Then you get you the equipment you need, certified by NAFDAC or standard organization or whatever. So we are working on some of these ideas, and I'm so happy that again the country has given me another platform to push some of these agenda.
From the low to the high, he has transversed the world of the underprivileged to the affluent. Adetokunbo Kayode's story of grass to grace is not without itches, but he says waving the magic wand of hard work and tenacity could perhaps be his essence. Scoring close to 6 decades on earth, he has learned vital lessons that have shaped and continues to shape his life.
I would start to say that as a young man who grew up in Nigeria from a poor background in terms of economic, and as a young lawyer, mainly all over Nigeria, practiced all over Nigeria, even though I was based here. And also later, somebody who was privileged. I've moved, I have had a metamorphosis, moving through different levels. And I think that the society has to care for its own people. What I've learned is that all of us everyone has some inborn intelligence. It may not be academic bent, it may just be some level of creativity. All of us have something within us, and it's important for the society, for the system, which we must put in place, help us to bring out that. For instance, some people will never be CEO in their life, even if they have all the qualifications, and that's where you see when we appoint people in government, say, oh, look at this qualification, he has PhD here, put him as head. He will not do it, it will not happen. It has nothing to do with the qualifications, it's just that plus other things, larger things, like even the grace, the gift you have. Some people can be fantastic organizers, but they cannot lead. It's not everybody that can lead. Some people are visionaries, they want to vision. So everybody has their gift. The society has to help us to pull out the gift you have. Some people are creative, whether you read medicine or not, you are just going to be a singer, and you make it, splendidly, and spectacularly too. You understand? I want to make the system work. You say, look, we're strong people. You understand? We're strong people. We're not lazy people, and we have a fantastic country. Weather, size, everything, soil. And as I said, we have some brains here. So I want to make the system work. If we can make it work, we'll be one of the best countries. There's no argument about that. And just making it work is also not difficult. Leadership. At every level, I want to lead in the Abuja Chamber of Commerce in the next 3 years. I want to do my best. I have already put in place my plan, and I pray to be able to implement it. I want to have a team. I've already put that in place. I pray they can work together with me. I want the leadership of this country, whether the president or the governor, put together a plan for Nigeria. Put together a team and work with them. The president is not supposed to work. He's supposed to make people work. But you need to tell them, work for what? Where's the vision? The same thing with the state. Where's the roadmap? The same thing with me in the Chamber of Commerce or in any other organizations. Anywhere you are, you must have a plan. First, you must have a vision, have a plan to implement it. Put together a team and make it work.
Thank you very much, sir. It's been nice talking with you. Prince Adetokunbo Kayode. A lot has been said, and most importantly, vision, plan, team, work, and all that. So it's been another interesting edition of Inspirators. Until we come your way next week, my name is Ngozi Chude.